Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
My training really is just my story. Apart from my story, there's a load of people who've heard of it before, isn't there?
Yeah.
Some people who haven't heard of it before. One or two of you. Well, during my training, you may well hear some adult language. But it is the sort you can listen to. Because I do talk about things like commitment, discipline and focus. Because they're the sort of words that we don't really like, but they're adult words. So I do talk a bit about that. Something before we start, has everybody actually got a notepad and paper?
Yes.
Notepad and paper and pen. Yeah. Has everybody got a pen and some paper? Right. And does anybody like writing loads of notes?
Yes.
Does anybody not like writing notes? Right. Here's a tip for you before we start. The notes that you need to write, are in white at the bottom of my slides. Okay? So all the other crap that you see on there, you don't need to take notes. It's just the notes on the bottom of each slide. That's what I said. Right. Chris mentioned at the front at the beginning about your passion and your reason why. And they don't have to be big reasons why, they can be just little reasons why. And they're what reasons why are really called goals. And they're the reasons that you do Kleeneze. Now, is there a pointy thing on here, eh?
Yeah, they want that separately.
I want you to write down, that's in white, so you have to write it down, it's in white. We've got that bit. I want you to write down the top 3 things in your life that you're passionate about. And if your partner isn't one of them and you're sitting next to them, just hide your nose. So the top 3 things, right, laugh there, Peter, well. Just write the top 3 things that you are passionate about. Because it's highly likely that if you're going to do that, it's highly likely that they will be your reason why Kleeneze can make a positive difference to your life. They're the reasons that you will do what you do in your life. And if you can make Kleeneze part of that, then that's great. And I want to share with you what my top 3 passions are in my life. Each of these 3 passions is extremely exciting. Each of these passions is extremely exhilarating. And each of these passions is extremely frustrating. My 3 passions, ladies and gentlemen, in no particular order, are Derby County Football Club, for whom I've had a season ticket since they moved to the new ground at Pride Park, which is 1997. So pre-Kleeneze and in Kleeneze. So Kleeneze allows me to have a season ticket at Derby County every year. Because my old life wouldn't have allowed me to do that. Okay? My second passion is Kleeneze itself. I'm extremely passionate about what Kleeneze can offer me. And that at times can be very exhilarating, and at times it can be very frustrating, can't it?
Yeah.
Come to frustration later. And the third passion in my life is my wife, Laura. And if any of you know Laura, you'll realise that she has a great big hit on the scale of frustrating. She's very difficult to live with as a wife. Impossible, some may say. She should have been here tonight. She can't be here tonight. She's with her dad who's gravely ill, unfortunately. But I'm trying to get away with her. I'll say whatever I like, but you won't tell me. Right. So they're my 3 passions in my life. Kleeneze, my wife, and Derby County Football Club, in no particular order. But I've loved Derby County Football Club longer than you. Anyway. Right. This is what I decided to do with my Kleeneze world. I heard a cassette by a guy called Mark Prosser. Anybody heard of him?
Yeah.
Mark Prosser? And he said, play a game, have some fun and earn some money. Play a game, have some fun and earn some money. Now I was a corporate retail manager, an area manager, and that was my life. Has anybody got a life like that at work? That was my life. Work, write this down, it's in white. It's in white, you have to write it down. Work, pressure and wages. How many people out there right now are feeling work, pressure and wages is their life? Quite a few, yeah. Well, I replaced work, pressure and wages with game, fun and money. Which one do you think sounds the most attractive? Are you awake, any of you? Which one sounds the most attractive? Game, fun and money. Do you know why that sounds the most attractive? Because it bloody well is the most attractive. So all I do now, in my whole life, is I play a game, a numbers game. I have some fun. It's a people business. And for playing that numbers game and having some fun, Kleeneze give me a wedge of money that is now considerably more than I ever earned as a corporate manager and area manager. So which do you think that first of all you would rather have, and then which do you think all those people out there would rather have? And that in a nutshell is why you're sat here and why I'm stood here. Pre-Kleeneze. I was a sporty, I might not look like it now, but I was a sporty schoolboy. I played football I was captain of the area football team, and I was a middle distance 8 and 1500 metre runner for the county, Derbyshire. And then I got to 16, 15, 16-ish. And I discovered girls and bars. I tried my best with both. And had some success and some outstanding failure. But one of my first ever short-term goals, and I'm really proud of this, is that me and my mate Jamie, we did have a pint in every pub, 67 pubs, not all at the same night. We did have a pint in every single pub in the Belper boundary where I live before we were 18. Absolutely. Absolutely, thank you. I thought it was impressive. That was the achievement of my first, and the Tatham was one of them, and the Belper again. And that was my first. 67 pubs. I'll not mention the girls. Right, moving on. I then decided I had to go and get a job, so I got a job as a retail, as a trainee manager at Wilko's. Everybody heard of Wilko's? Yeah. And I managed Wilko's shops. I actually moved to this neck of the woods. I moved up to a place called Crompton, between Widnes and St Helens. And I moved up there and was up there 7 years, built a load of shops for them and helped run shops for them. And I was a retail manager. And then I worked for Wicks for about 10 years. And it was the same stuff. Did I say shit, Dave? The same shit in a different wrapper. Whichever company I worked for, it was the same. It was good for a bit and then it was the same. Good for a bit and then it was the same. You just wanted more for less every year. And I got sick of it. I climbed the career ladder quite quickly. But at the age of 38, no, that's a lie. At the age of 36, I started looking for a way out of that rat race. Because I had enough of it. I just had enough of it. And at 38, I got out. That's in white, that look. So I now understand, I didn't at the time, but I now understand that I was a looker. I was looking for something different for my life. How many people out there right now are actually looking for something different? How many people? My wife Laura, pre-Kleeneze. Those of you that saw Dave's advert for tonight, that is a different sombrero. And our own, his and her sombreros. She was a sporty schoolgirl. She did swimming for the county, netball for the county. So we both had a competitive edge at school, still do. And then, much like me, she discovered that she liked riding boys and bikes. Sorry, she liked... Don't say who. She liked riding bikes and right. And then she decided to be for some reason, she went to be a nurse and then a psychiatric nurse, and she ran 2 psychiatric wards in Essex before she moved back to Derbyshire. She still to this day says that really helps her living with me. But she's not here to prove that tonight. She was a very, very busy mum. She ran 2 psychiatric units and she had 3 young children. And then spectacularly her relationship broke up with the kid's dad. And she became a very, very busy single mum. Do you know, are you or do you know any really busy single mums who are looking for a way to get through? Because that's what Laura was. She also was a looker. She was looking for an opportunity. So 2 people from very, very different backgrounds, were both looking for an opportunity. And what I say to you is don't prejudge who you think might be looking. Laura then started her own home-based business, which was making adult collectible mohair teddy bears. That's why our group's called the Golden Bear Group. Anybody who goes gold in our group gets made a handmade teddy bear by Laura. That's why it's the Golden Bear Group. And Laura was quite successful. She was part of the New Deal in the job centres as a single parent. She was in a magazine called the Solo magazine years ago. That's her and the kids, and that's about the age they were when I met them. And that's her going into 10 Downing Street, where I believe she got spectacularly drunk on the free champagne. And she brought momentum back for the kids, and the momentum that she brought back for the kids, those of you who know this is true, was just a little bit of toilet roll, which had Downing Street on the toilet roll. She brought that back for the kids. Anyway, that's sort of Laura. Pre-Kleeneze together, Laura and I. That's it. We met in Kleeneze. Now, Kleeneze isn't necessarily a dating agency. Others have done it, and we certainly did. And we got together in Kleeneze. And we joined together in September 2004. So actually next month is our 10th anniversary of Kleeneze. Which is, for anybody who's not been in for 10 years, that sort of shows you that the business has some longevity, doesn't it? Dave's already told he's 91 years old. I've not been in it that long, and I don't intend to be. We never know. But 10 years we've been in this September. And what I'm now going to do, very briefly, is I'm going to give you 30 minutes on each year. No, not really, no. Bottom line. And that's in white. Never quit. When Laura and I joined in September 2004, the one thing we said on the day we joined together in the business, she originally was in my team, and I was in the business for a year before that, but when we joined together in business, we said we'd never quit. And do you know what? If you say that to each other or yourself, it is the single most liberating thing that you can say in your business. Because whatever happens in your Kleeneze future, what's the worst you're going to do? So the worst thing that ever happens to me, and I'll tell you what the worst is. Anybody really new? Who's the new? How new are you? Less than a year? I've been in the business less than a year. 1, 2, 3 of you. Less than 6 months. A couple of you. Well, I'm going to tell you the worst thing that happens to you in Kleeneze. The worst thing. And if you don't quit when this happens to you, you're fine. Because everything else that happens to you, you can use to train somebody else and help somebody else, can't you? Oh, that happened to me. This is what I did about it. I know how you feel, this is how I felt when it happened to me, but what I found was I carried on and I was all right. The worst thing, ladies and gentlemen, is cat piss on your catalogues. That is the worst thing that'll happen to you. Because has it happened to anybody?
Yeah.
Does it stay on your catalogues? Does it go out of your hands? You can't. Yeah. It's not nice. So that's the worst. So you can cope with that, you can cope with anything. But you didn't think you get training on cat weed tonight, did you? Anyway, so never quit. Never ever quit. This is in white. 2 simple questions that I asked myself when I committed to doing Kleeneze. Well, that's a big. Have you committed to doing Kleeneze, or are you just messing about with it? Because when you commit to doing Kleeneze, the only 2 questions you really need to ask are these 2. Does the catalogue sell product? Well, does it?
Yes.
That means I haven't got to sell it, doesn't it? That was vital for me. Because if I had to go and sell stuff, I wasn't interested. I've been a manager, not a salesperson. Not only that, I then knew I'd have to recruit salespeople. Well, I don't. I have to recruit different types of people, which I'll share with you in a second. So question 1, does the catalogue sell product? And question 2, is there anybody in the UK or Ireland that get extra cash? Pretty straightforward, isn't it, really? And I very quickly, within a few days, established that those 2 were true. So as soon as I got my first customer and my first person wanted to take a look at the opportunity, those 2 had to be true. And that's all I've done, playing a numbers game, numbers game, numbers game. If you want a successful distributor, they need to be 2 things. They need to be reliable and they need to be friendly. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Surprising how many people can't do that. But that's all you really need to be, reliable and friendly. Within Kleeneze, what you think about, you bring about. And for those of you that are new, or quite new, these are some of the things. Is there anybody who's new? I've already asked you that. Is there anybody who wants to sponsor somebody new? Some of you want to sponsor somebody new. Has anybody ever been new? Abby didn't put in. You must have been new. Yeah, we haven't. So what do you think about, you bring about, and you can make money or excuses. That's one of them. Dave's already thought about it. We've got Golden Bear umbrellas that say shit, it's raining on them.
Do we write that? It's in white.
It's in white, yeah. That's one of the excuses. Has anybody got a screaming kid at home that they use an excuse? Has anybody got a bus full of screaming kids? I've got 1 couple in my team who've got 4 kids under 7, and I've got 1 lad in my team who's done a bit of rent-a-family stuff like I did, and he's got 8 kids. But he's still doing the business. So anybody that gives you any excuses about you can't do it with kids, sorry. Found that in the paper the other week. Having a boring job can leave you just as vulnerable to burnout than one which leaves you rushed off the feet. How many people do you know who's got boring jobs that are like knackered all the time?
Yeah.
Have you got a boring job? Are you knackered all the time? Who gets a lot of that in the business? Who gets frustrated with Kleeneze? All of you virtually, all of you. Here's a tip. You've heard it before. It's not in white, but you can write it down if you like. Turn your frustration into fascination. Turn your frustration into fascination. Because if you're frustrated about something, all you will do is that will have a negative impact on what you're doing. And if you get fascinated, you're likely to try and solve what it is that the issue is in the first place. Would you agree?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you another thing. There's only 2 things that you'll ever get fascinated with. The first one is you, and the second one is other people. If you find anything else, let me know. Anybody ever felt like that with the Kleeneze business? I don't know which way to turn. I've got that many different things to do. I don't know what I'm doing. What do I do? Get used to it. That's what building a Kleeneze business is like. Who's ever felt like that? My question to you is, to do what? What are you going to quit something like this to do? Because there's nothing better to do to give you the independence to get that you want. Right, half an hour starts now. Right, 2005, Laura and I joined Kleeneze. We got stuck in. We became gold distributors in 7 months, qualified for Athens. You don't have to write any of this, so it's not in white. A bear is born. Laura made our mascot bear at the airport, Manchester Airport, on the way to Athens. Didn't have a camera, so I can't show you any pictures of it. Anybody remember us from Athens? Oh dear. That's in white. If you want day one to be now, make day one now. But you've got to have goals. My favourite ever goal that anybody in my team has ever had is there's a lady called Debs Bamford in our team who's been on 2 international conferences. She went to Vienna 2008 and the Caribbean in 2009. Her first goal in Kleeneze was to have enough bonus check to buy a pair of pink Timberland boots. And I genuinely was more excited for when she achieved that than when she qualified for the Caribbean. Because it started the process of goal setting. Have goals from day one. It doesn't matter what they are, that's what I'm trying to tell you. It doesn't matter how insignificant your goal might seem to other people's massive goals. It's a goal for you, it's a goal for you, it's important. 2006, qualified at senior. 1 month after we qualified at senior, our gold distributor vanished, quit, left. We'd just gone senior. For those of you that are long enough in the tooth, remember, the only way you could qualify for conferences in those days was moving up the pay plan. Our gold distributor vanished. Do you have that in Lancashire? That phrase?
Yeah.
Got a monk on. Massive monk on. Frustration, blame. That's what Laura and I had. But then we decided, after about 6 weeks of having a massive monk on, we weren't going to quit, so we might as well get stuck in again. So we did do. We got serious, and we decided to work really hard on developing the group. That is a picture that is incredibly dear to my heart, and I told you it was my story. And I'm hoping just to give you some ideas in the white bit that can relate to your story. Well, my story, that is a photograph that Laura took of some of her bears before I met her. And I found that in a little box, in a load of stuff that she put away. And they were the designs she actually, has anybody heard of Paul Smith, designer? Yeah. She actually was commissioned to make 50 little bears when he launched his children's wear range in London through the New Deal. So that's what she did. And that's just an example. They're the bears now that the guys get when they go gold. However, this is the key to this. Those bears have all got frowns. The golden bears have got smiles on their faces. You've got to have a passion, that's one of mine. And that photo will stay there until we have 6 distributorships on the same conference. We've not done it. Massive goal. 6 smiley bears on a conference. Anyway, well, there you go. It's in white. Keep the vision. Keep the vision of what you joined this business for. And then, absolutely vital, be true to yourself while the numbers are small. What that means is don't lose your integrity. What that means is don't badmouth anybody. What that means is mind your own business. Look after your people, even if you've only got 1 in your team. If you haven't got any in your team, you've still got a Kleeneze team. Because your customers are all part of your team. Without them, you won't have a business, would you? So be true to yourself when the numbers are small. 2007, Steve Mee qualified for Cannes. Hardly anybody in this room will know Steve Mee. Steve Mee's a fireman. He's a full-time firefighter. He's got 3 daughters. One of them is severely mentally and physically disabled. He works his business so he can pay for a lot of her treatment to take her away. Do you know what? That's in white. Busy people always find the time. Busy people always find the time. Most people do more part-time in Kleeneze than full-time in I've just got to see those DNA results on Jeremy Kine. I've just got to have another cup of coffee. Help enough people earn money. That's what we learned. It was all about us helping other people earn enough money. And we hammered the personal development side of Kleeneze. I'm not reading a book in the industry or personal development at the moment. And I've not been reading one since I finished the last one 2 weeks ago. And I know when I look in the mirror that I'm not reading at the moment. So I want the positive reading all the time to help me develop myself so I can be a better dad to the stepkids, so I can be a better husband to Laura, so I can be a better athletic young man. So you've got to have a personal development to get it moving. Because what's the alternative? That's the alternative. Saw that on Facebook. Have you seen it before? That is just incredible. That was all viral coming up this afternoon. Normal is getting dressed in, you don't have to write all that down, it's in white, it's quite long. Normal is getting dressed in clothes that you buy for work and driving through traffic in a car that you're still paying for. In order to get to the job, you need to pay for the clothes in the car. And the house you leave vacant all day, so you can afford to live in it. It's mad, isn't it? Isn't that just mad? That's what most people do. No thanks. Anyway. We got really fed up not qualifying for conferences, so we decided to go for one or two of our own in the USA in 2007. And as a surprise for Laura's birthday, we had a Jim Rohn event at our house, and we had a dozen people at our house, and we watched a load of Jim Rohn videos, and then I announced at the end of the evening that we were actually going to go and see it. And we went to Dallas in 2007 on credit card money that we couldn't afford to do, well we did it anyway, and we went to see Jim Rohn. Has anybody heard of Jim Rohn? Yeah. Well, we went and have a weekend seminar with Jim Rohn. That's me when I was a bit older than I am now, and Laura. And on the same trip, we did something else spectacular. We learned that for a start. We learned that all that Mulcon stuff and all that blame culture and all that stuff that we were carrying around from our previous lives, and indeed a bit of Kleeneze, can't do it. So for things to change, you have to change. And on that particular trip, we also had the great fortune to meet that guy's called Zig Ziglar. Heard of him? Yeah. And that's another story that I haven't got time to tell you tonight. But we actually met him completely by design. We went and found him in church on a Sunday morning in a church that holds 24,000 people. And we found him. And we had 20 minutes with him and his wife Jean and his son. Just wasn't there, chatting away. And the reason we did that is because of that. What you'll find in anything that you do in life, and Kleeneze is an absolute classic for this, is there is not so many people on the extra mile. So if you are prepared, that's you, sat on your seat, if you are prepared to go the extra mile to do one more thing a day than you do now, every day, then you will find there's not many people that do that. Because most people give up too quickly. So get on the extra mile, that's where the fun is as well. Imagine us coming back on that plane from, where were we? Philadelphia to Manchester, coming back on that plane. Imagine how we were feeling. Imagine how exhilarated, buzzed up we were. We met Jim Rohn and Zig Ziglar. And we came back on that plane and we said to each other, if we don't do something with this stupid bloody Kleeneze thing this year, what else are we going to do? It's not in white, but it should be. But think it if you don't write it. We'll come to that in a minute as well. That is in white. You've got to have focus, guys. You've got to have focus on whatever it is that you want to achieve. You've got to have focus. Consistently. I love is it an acronym? I can't remember what it's called. FO, what's it called? Acronym. Follow one course until successful. Don't get any easier than that. Follow one course until successful. As long as it's the course that's the right direction, not the wrong direction. That's the name of the game. Who likes the lead incentive Kleeneze you've just launched? Who knows about the lead incentive Kleeneze you've just launched? Who don't care about it? You sponsor somebody in August and they'll give you 50 inquiries. You've never done that in 10 years. Never done that in my 10 years in Kleeneze. So sponsor, sponsor, sponsor. I guarantee you one thing, no, three things. I guarantee you this is all that your prospect wants to know when you speak to them. Is it simple? Does it work? And can I do it? That's all they want to know. So any other bull manure that you bother talking about around it, they're only interested in that. Is it simple? Does it work? And can I do it? And if you're not yet sponsoring or you don't want to, think about that. You need to know whether sponsoring is simple and works and can you do it. The answer is yes, it is simple. It works if you do. And of course you can bloody do it. However, it doesn't matter how many resources you have. If you don't know how to use them, there'll never be enough. You've all got systems. You all work to Kleeneze systems. Those systems will work. Do you know why? Because people have worked them to massive success. So if you're not working them to massive success and you want massive success, keep on working them. Don't quit. Ask the right questions of the right people. Doesn't matter how many resources you have, if you don't know how to use them, there'll never be enough. 2008. All of that momentum that we built up in 2007 rolled into 2008. In 2008, that happened to us because we made it happen. We qualified bronze executive. We did the double Caribbean and Vienna. I gave a testimony at the NIA, which was a great goal of mine. We had 9 Golden Bears in Vienna, but only 5 distributorships, not the 6 that I wanted. One of them didn't make it. Laura gave a testimonial in Vienna, which was a great goal of mine. She didn't want to do it, but I sort of put her involved in that. We won the Distributor Challenge Trophy and got 650 quid extra pin level bonuses that I even forgot we were going to get and just got paid it. Apart from Tom Champagne, whoever's ever paid you 650 quid for note. If you don't know who Tom Champagne is, you need to ask Mr. Burgess. And spend 10 minutes listening to what he tells you. Best story I've ever heard. Anyway, that's what we had. Guys, that's what you've got to have. What does Craig White say? Kleeneze is like sex. If you're not excited, nothing's going to happen. You've got to be excited about your business. My mate said that to me when I got back from Vienna. He said, that's all unbelievable. And I did say that to him. Do you think, oh, that's unbelievable? I think I feel about it. I've just lived it. I've just gone and lived that thing. Just been to Vienna and had a dinner in a palace. It's mad. And they're just, you know, some of the guys and some of our upline. That's the Golden Bears having only 5 distributorships. Oh. They're the Golden Bears in Vienna. Because teamwork does make the dream work. You've got to have people engaged in what it is that you're trying to achieve. 2009 we went silver executive, we achieved the double again, went to Cyprus and Cape Town. We got another £500 bonus just for doing it. We had 7 Golden Bears in Cyprus, but only 4 distributorships. Cute. We won a Vauxhall Corsa, a Mini Cooper, because we've got momentum in our business. And you'll hear that a lot. If you start getting momentum in your business, things will carry on happening. Some great trainings on that. That's Bob Webb's arse. Who was in the Caribbean? Peter Murner, Anna Sill, Dave Mann. Paul again. Pirates, that's Michael Cathcart there. Pirates, parrots and principles. We had a pirate party, didn't we? And I dressed as a parrot. My wife Laura dressed as Long John's Silver. Bob Webb made an arse of himself. And that's Debs Bamford who had the Timberland boots gold. And Debs Bamford went as a treasure chest and she had little favour things. It's perfectly true, isn't it? Those of us were there. But pirates, parrots and principles is in white. Does everybody write that down? Pirates, parrots and principles. Because I'll tell you something, there'll be some pirates along the way that'll try and steal your jewels and steal your dreams. And they'll come aboard your ship and try to take it off course. You must not let them. There are also some people who'll join your team who will talk a lot and not do a lot else. They're the parrots. And the principles are the things you've got to stick to move your business forward. You've also got, that's Laura, looking her best that day. She must have been out with Ram and Silver night. Nice beard then. That's Laura and Michael Catcall, very dapper. You have got to understand what the company's goals are. And the company are launching some incredible goals, incredible incentives, incredible targets. So you need to understand what the company are trying to achieve. And when you do achieve stuff, just take a short, well-deserved rest as a reward for your efforts. Because everyone's got to rest sometime. And you cannot have the burners on all the time. It's impossible. So do treat yourself now and again. That's what won the Vauxhall Corsa. I've heard many times, some of you have probably used it yourself, and it's one phrase that I have as a real challenge in my life. And people say, failure was not an option. Don't they? It bloody is. Failure is an option. And sometimes you have to fail your way to success. But in this particular case, you didn't have an opportunity to do that. You had to hit the numbers every single month to be awarded that vehicle. So failure was very much an option for that. So it's the determination that got us through. And it's the drive that got us to win that. That was a different sort of set of criteria. And as Dave said, we rewarded those on stage at the same conference, which was wild and very poignant, because both Laura's mum and dad and my mum were there to watch us do that. They're moments that you can't explain how good they are. Moving on. Zig Ziglar, my absolute favourite quote that resonates. If you probably know this quote, but if you don't, please write this one down. Help enough other people get what they want, and you can have everything that you want. And in Kleeneze, that is the only way to success. You cannot do this on your own. You can only help others to achieve so that you can achieve. That's in side. It was inside Dave Ewing's up, so you know. That's hanging out with your mates in Cape Town. That was quite scary there. It's been quite a long way down. That's why I haven't pushed you on to the end there. So. Yeah, just hanging out with your mates in Cape Town. I've got a picture of this, but you see that cable car there? When we got on the cable car at the bottom of Table Mountain, everybody, including Bert Whistle, because I was jostling with him, you were jostling for position so you got the best view, weren't you? Yeah. Do you remember? We're all jostling that the best view of the mountain. And then the whole cable car spun around 360 degrees. So you all got all the view anyway. Keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on. And that requires the discipline. And that's one of those adult words I spoke about earlier on. If you haven't yet got to your 10%, keep on keeping on till you do. If you're helping other people get to the 10%, keep on keeping on helping them until they do. Because there are some incredible leaders in this business. And there's some incredible leaders in life. And everybody in this room will do what the incredible leaders do some of the time. The difference is that they do it all of the time. That's the only difference. Who's had a lazy day in Kleeneze? Who's had one today? Or just me? I don't know. These guys don't have lazy days. They do it all of the time. So you've got to find out what it is that the successful people do all of the time and just copy it. Who do you want to associate with? When I first joined Kleeneze, I showed some checks down the local pub. And got a millionaire on one side of me in the pub and my mate Jamie on the other, the guy who ran the drinks room. And my mate Jamie said, I showed him Chris Mason Paul's check. I wrote him 30 grand more. And he said, his first question was, how long has it taken him to get that? And I said, oh, probably 10, 12 years. And he said, well, that's a long time. And I thought, Jamie, what are you going to be doing in the next 10 to 12 years? It's going to get you 30 grand a month. And the guy on the other side, the millionaire, said, how do you make money, Andrew? That's the difference in mentality. So you surround yourself with those on the same mission as you. If your mission is to watch every Jeremy Kyle that you could possibly watch every day, fantastic. Enjoy yourself. If your mission is to do a little bit better than that, keep on with your Kleeneze. How far do you want to go with your Kleeneze business? That's at Cape Point, South Africa. How fast do you want to go? That's on some speedboats off Cape Point in South Africa, where I'm led to believe there are sharks. I was in the middle. What sort of views do you want from your hotel? What sort of views do you want to wake up to every morning about your vision of your life? In 2010, Hong Kong, anybody go to Hong Kong?
Yeah.
Oh, well done, we didn't, we qualified. Well, some of our guys did. We had 3 distributorships in Hong Kong, as Richard and Sinead, Alan Bennett, Alan and Rebecca Lana, with Gene Day. Because achievement in Kleeneze is by helping other people to achieve. That's the concept that I'm interested in, helping other people get the stuff that they want to get. 2011, we went gold executives. Stuart went to New York. That's Stuart and Susie, his partner. He went to New York. We didn't qualify. Aww. Anybody go to New York? Oh, bloody hell's going up again. Anyway, that's another one we didn't want to go there anyway. But on August the 12th in 2011, it was Tomo, Laura's youngest son and my youngest stepdad. It was his 13th birthday. Young man, lovely, isn't he? 5 when I first met him. He's 13. And we ruined his birthday. Completely ruined it because we got married the same day. And we made some vows that day to each other. And we also make some vows to ourselves about this business. Because our relationship with Kleeneze is a very happy marriage. Has this been videoed? And my relationship with Laura. What are your reasons? That's Laura and her dad, who she's at the bedside of this evening. On her wedding day, 3 years ago, nearly next week. That's us with the 3 stepkids and Laura's 3 children. Tomo's now 6'3", that's the little one. It's his 13th birthday. Well, look how happy he looks on that. 13th birthday. And that's my mum and dad at our wedding. So what are your reasons for making a difference in your life? Because it's your cake, and you can cut it and eat it however you like. Although, as of tonight, I can't have any more cake. But it's your cake, and you can do whatever you want. That's quite exciting, isn't it? Yeah. Or is that quite frightening? A bit of both? 2012. It's later than you think. My dad passed away a year after our wedding. And there's a picture of me at 18 doing what I did best. And there's a picture of my dad doing what he did best. And that's what got him in the end. So it's later than you think, guys and girls. So don't leave it too late. I met this fat chap in Miami who persuaded me to get dressed up in some ridiculous outfits. That's me. Oh no, that's me. That's me and Ram at Gloria Estefan's Bongos nightclub, where we had the pleasure of being the first people to be asked to dance and the first people to be asked to leave. And that's us in the gymnasium forecourt of the Fontainebleau Hotel, Miami Beach, Florida, where people had paid an awful lot of money to be in the gym, and then me and him walked in. Looking like that. If anybody wants to borrow, we've still got the padding that we use. Right. Work hard and play hard. Oh, sorry. Work hard and play hard. And what's bad at school is best in Kleeneze. That's in Whitehall. Talking and copying. You're not supposed to do that at school, but you can do it in Kleeneze, can't you? Talk to as many as you want and copy whatever you want to copy. That's the important bit. Right. Sylvia Lang, Jean Day, Laura Kelly, Karen Borman, Deborah Pusey, Abigail Coakley. All Kleeneze distributors, would you agree? All have one thing in common. We don't know what it is, do you? Well, they're all sharing best practice there. And the best practice was, this was in the Fontainebleau bar. And the bar prices were quite high, weren't they, guys? Yeah. So we decided it'd be a good idea to just get little bottles of lager, look, which were quite cheap. But behind all of this motley crew, they've got all the decanted bottles of rum and vodka from the rooms that they kept sneaking into the glasses. So Kleeneze distributors, ladies and gentlemen, are a rum-looking crew and are very resourceful. Dubai 2013, time to get serious for us as a group. How much fun did we want to have? We wanted more fun. So we did things like that. We went on a great big rubber ring, and I was having fun. Onwards and upwards, guys, for you. That's Laura and me and Annie Bennett and Alan Bennett and Richard Sherritt. Do you know what we're looking at there? Tallest building in the world, and that was the best view of it like that. So how high do you want to go with your Kleeneze business? Because Kleeneze will take it all around the world if you want to, if you're interested. Is the sky the limit for you? What limits do you put on yourself with this business? And then 2014, cruising for a bruising on the adventures of the seas. Laura has started doing boxing training 4 nights a week with young Thomas. So I have to be very, very careful. So I am cruising for a bruising tonight, especially with this video. Do you think they look like Where's Wally's teaching? Because that's on deck on when Angie and Dave were deciding whether or not to go up that wall, couldn't you? And you went up the wall, didn't you?
Yeah.
Well done. Congratulations. We didn't. We were just looking for Wally. Right. Anybody fancy Venice in the autumn?
Yeah.
Anybody fancy Jamaica in 2015?
Yeah.
These are the gigs that Kleeneze send you. Just for knowing it's simple and that it works and that you're doing it. Whatever next? Whatever next is in this business for you. Because Kleeneze has given me 1 million memories already. And I know there's 1 million more to come from this fantastic business. What about you? What about you? Because yesterday's home runs do not win tomorrow's ball games. Babe Ruth said that. So whatever you've achieved in the past, in or out of Kleeneze, you don't count for what you can achieve in the future, does it? You see what I mean? Yesterday's home runs don't win tomorrow's ball games. That very quote is in my house, in my downstairs toilet. And in that room we have a few home runs and 1 or 2 ball games. The company have fantastic leadership now. They know where they're going with this business. You in your groups have fabulous leaders. You've got a great system. You've got a proven track record. You've got great team synergy going on in your groups. But what about you individually? What type of person are you going to be in the next 12 months? Are you going to be a person that makes it happen for you? Are you going to be one of those people that watch it happen? Or are you going to be one of those people that'll wonder what the bloody hell's happened? That's me done. Thank you for listening. Hold on, I need to come in a little bit right there.
obviously in white, game for money, pirates, carrots and principles. That's a nice one, that one, nice one, like that one. Keep on keeping on. Basically, yeah, and just so you see it for yourself. Thanks, Andy, you were awesome. Round of applause, please.